Welcome back to another episode. Today I'm showing you how to read a forecast like a pro, like a wave forecast. You will finally understand all the details. I will help you with my pen and my iPad. So let's have a look right into it. First of all, I give you all my pro tips I use daily for my retreats, my coaching, and to have the best prediction overall in forecasting. All you need is actually that app which you see here right now is Surfmin Forecast. This one is really handy. I come back in a minute if you should use this one as well. But first of all, you click on Surf Forecast. There are many forecasters out there, but this one in my eyes is one of the coolest. What you should do is when you look at the screen, wait, I have to lift it up a bit. What I usually do is I go to my breaks because you can add some favorites here. Whoop! See it even better. Right now I'm in Bubico, which is also my surf camp retreats. Boom, I click on it and then you see this kind of chart. First of all, this is a lot to digest. I totally agree, but I'm gonna show you now everything you should know. So imagine you will, after this video, you will understand, okay, what's those kind of numbers, what does it mean, and so on. If you want, you can swipe down and you see the card as well, the map, where your spot is right now. You can search new spots, for example, go down and click on them. For example, here, Biarritz, you click on it and you see the forecast for the spot. If you swipe slightly to the right, you will see some forecasting. But I'm gonna show you in the other app what I mean by that. Boom, I just made a photo of the forecast for the next 3 days, 2 days. At the moment it's Saturday, but Sunday. So when you look at the chart, we are Sunday the 11th. We have several numbers which I'm gonna explain you at the moment. So every time you look at the forecast, you will understand it. First of all, here are obviously the numbers. You have the dates. That makes sense. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is easy to understand. Here we go. Here you have the waves in meters written. Obviously you can also change it to feet, but here this is important. This is usually where they predict the swell. Swell is actually the energy of waves which are traveling towards us. So the swell is coming towards us. We're actually surfing energy from the ocean. So this predicts kind of the meter of the swell of the waves which are actually breaking on your local break. But here comes, there's an arrow, a blue arrow, and underneath is W and W, means west, north, west. When you look at the forecast, it's really important that you also look at the direction of the waves. So the direction, where is your surfing coming from? Okay, so when you look at the direction, you see west, north, west. Means if this is north, you have east, south, and west. The direction comes west, northwest, so around here. What does it mean? It means if you compare it to the landmark, which I just showed you, if you're, for example, in France, and this is north up there, it's kind of a good direction because the surf is coming, from this direction. So it's hitting your beach almost in a 90-degree angle. So for now, perfect. Okay, so the arrows are fine. Imagine the waves would be the other way, which is not possible because there's land. Then something would be off. But there is still a big difference if the waves are coming really 90 degrees at your beach or a little bit north. So it will change the angle of the waves. But before I get too much into details, all you have to know is, okay, there is 0.7 meters in swell, but now it comes. The second one is seconds. You see there's a difference between seconds. And the seconds are the periods. Period is called the difference between one wave to the other wave. So a period is actually, you can count it, like there's one wave coming and until the other wave is coming until here. So you measured it in seconds. For example, if you stand on the beach and one wave is breaking and you're like 21, 22, 23 and so on. Everything around 10 seconds we call the ground swell, because there's good energy in there. There's enough distance between each wave. To wait 10 seconds until the next wave comes is really good. Even higher is even better, and it means more power in the water. If you go, for example, to Holland, usually you have a forecast from 5 seconds. Should we do that really quick? I don't know, just for joking. I hope there are not so many Dutchies hating me right now. But in Holland, you have a saying of everything above 5 seconds. It's like 1, 2, 3, next one, 1, 2, is actually good. Have a look. Here, Den Haag. Let's just here, Katwijk aan Zee. Look at it. Boom. Here, Katwijk aan Zee. Look, what I just told you, it's like 4 seconds. It's a really low period as well. We go away. So back to our nice forecast here in France, where our surf camp retreat is. We have 10 seconds and 15 seconds swell. So we have swell of 7 and 0.7 combined with a 10-second period, so the distance between each wave. And then here, this is what I like about surf forecast. Down here you have even an implicator of energy. They even count it as kilojoule, like what kind of strength sits in each power, in each wave. So how much power is actually in here? I love to see it complicated. I hope you're still following me. If not, go a bit back in the video. So we have 0.7, we have 10 seconds, we have kind of an implicator of kilojoule. I would ignore a bit the kilojoules, but it gives you kind of a strength feeling, because we usually here in Virboko, you can surf up to 1,500, 2,000 kilojoule. It's like a lot of power. So every time I see like 2,000, I know it's gonna be way too big, too powerful. I'm not gonna surf on the day. But it's really depending on which surf spot you are. So I would rather look at that one, especially like the swell itself, the period of the waves, and now that comes the most interesting, especially with the local winds. So down here is the local wind, which wind direction you have, if it's onshore or is it offshore. This is what defines here. That's why you see also those green ones here, means glassy conditions, because there's almost no wind, only 5 kmh, which is almost nothing. Or when I put my video quick to the left, you see here in the morning on Tuesday, we have even offshore. I'm really looking forward to this one, because I'm going to surf hopefully with Max from Surf Talk podcast. So I'm really looking forward to this. If you still with me, and I hope you understand everything I tell you right now, I give you some pro tips here. First of all, at the end down here you see a number 0.5 and 3.5. Those things you might see on your tide watch are actually the tides. So the tides are down here, which is super important, because some spots are better at low tide and some spots are better at high tide, but it shows you as well on which time is high tide and which time is low tide. So here you see, oh yeah, today we have high tide at almost 5 o'clock. So 4:52 is totally high, and the high difference is 3.50 meters. And at night, so 6 hours later, or a bit more than 6 hours before, we have low tide, only with a 0.5 meter of tides. This is crazy. So we have a big of difference about the tides. If you understand it so far right now, I want to show you something important which gives you a better understanding about wave creation itself. When you look at the forecast, it's really important that you combine the first one. So we said 0.7 meters. Who's actually measuring that 0.7? Give you a hint, it's out in the ocean, and boat captains also using it. We have buoys out there, buoys. So those things, usually with a flag, ding, 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 they're measuring how high they get lifted up and down, and in what kind of second difference they get lifted up. So what they measure out there for the shippers, it's not a word, for the boat guys, for the fishermen and so on, they measure, okay, the swell got lifted up by 0.7 meters, and the difference in between, the period, we can also guess. Sorry, the picture is a bit down. Whoopa, sorry, you didn't saw all my beautiful drawing. Doesn't matter, you see it now. So you have the period and the measurement of the meters, but it doesn't mean, and this is the biggest misconception a lot of surfers do, when they see 0.7 meters of a swell, they just think, oh yeah, it's gonna be 70 centimeters. 70 centimeters. It's not gonna be 70 centimeters because you have to combine it with the period. 10 seconds means there's a lot of energy because it takes 10 seconds to pass to the other wave. If there would be in the same space like only 4 or 5 seconds, like 1, 2, 3, you see that? The intervals will be smaller, but that's why the waves would have less energy. I hope that's really clear. Pause that video, look it back until you understand it. I give you an example and it will blow your mind. So 0.7 with a 10-second swell, and imagine that the wind would be slightly offshore, so the wind is blowing into the wave as well. You will have, combined with this combination, around a wave, depending on the tide as well, but here in France you will get a wave, I think there would be at least shoulder high wave to head high wave. Yes, we use our body, so the wave would be at least that height in between here. But now it comes, and this is what makes you hopefully understand it. Imagine you only change one thing in the equation, and that is you double up the seconds, you double up the period. Means it takes 20 seconds, which is a really long time between one wave and the other wave. You still have the 0.7, but 20 seconds in between. Means like it takes 20 seconds, yeah, until the next buoy is lifting up, yeah. So, like I explained before, with the 10-second swell already, in that 20-second swell wave, this one I just painted here, it will be so much energy here. This energy in one wave will break, even if the buoys only get lifted up 0.7 meters. This is way more energy than the 10-second swell wave. It means, and now it comes, when you double, Surf Forecast has a nice explanation on the website as well, but by the way, this is not sponsored anyway, I just use it really for myself and for my own coaching. When you double up the period, it will quadruple the actual breaking wave. So instead of shoulder to head high, it would be like 4 times me, almost, as wave. By the way, I've never seen 20 seconds here in France, usually not. But for example, Sri Lanka is a high period swell place, but usually they have a really tiny swell here, like sometimes 0.1 or 0.2 sometimes meters, but then with 18 or 19 seconds, it will come as a shoulder high wave, but it's actually 10 centimeters. You know what I mean? So 10 centimeters combined with 20 seconds could be up to a shoulder high wave. And here as well, if you double up, it will quadruple. So give you understanding of how to read a forecast before it gets too complicated. So we go back and we combine everything I just said. We go to our local break. Wait, I have to just quick the camera. Whoop, to our Vieux-Bourgeois, which is coming out now. And if you see the forecast right now, you will recognize that I will make it a bit smaller. Whoop. You can combine everything I just said. So, for example, on Monday, you see we have 2.1 meters, which is already a lot of swell with thousands of energy, and we have kind of mixed waves, mixed winds, local winds. So I hope that a forecast reading helped you a lot to understand that there is more to it instead of just reading it. And I know the first time I watched it, I got really overwhelmed and I was really surprised every time I went to the beach. I was like, yeah, but the forecast said this, why it's not breaking so much, and or why is it so big suddenly. I hope now everything is clear, but I give you a one last pro tip. Local winds is really nice. I love it. I use it almost every day. I go to Windfinder for the wind. A lot of kite surfers are using it. So surf forecast I use personally for my forecasting, surf forecasting for the waves. But the Windfinder, I always want to check like the local winds. I go to cards, means like I want to look at the map. And when you look at the map, which is super cool, you can go to your spot and then, there's some advertising, I don't care. The cool thing is you can zoom in, you can zoom out. You see almost no wind right now. But if I hit here on the right, sorry. When you press here the +3 sign, whoop, you will see there's a lot of things changing. Oh, at 20, here you see in the middle, at 8 o'clock at night, there will be some strong onshore wind. Onshore means like the wind is coming from the ocean. Makes sense, eh? Right side is France and left side is the ocean. But when you look at Monday morning, suddenly it drops, nice coloring, the direction on the wind is clear. Look at my favorite Tuesday, where I hopefully surf with Max. It's straight offshore, almost no wind until 2 o'clock, and then slightly wind. So have in mind, if you want to have a nice prediction, go to Surf Forecast and use Windfinder as well. One last thing, pro tip. When you look at forecasts, you can even sign up for free. This is not sponsored here again. I sound like sponsored, but it's not. You can have a look until 12 days in advance. But my pro tip to you is, it's not going to work. It will always change a little bit. So to really look forward for the forecasting, that's what I do in the surf camp retreat as well here in France in the summer, that I only look at the next, like 2-3 days, which are kind of accurate. There are still some things which can happen locally. For example, another high pressure system comes and then the winds suddenly change to onshore instead of offshore. But have in mind, if you look 12 days in advance, that 10th day will change 100% out of my own experience. If that video helped you, then it would be amazing if you leave a comment down below, share it to other friends, give a thumbs up, and maybe you want to join one of our retreats. Check the link down below. Every details is on our website. I give personal feedback, personal calls and coaching. If you're interested, let me know. I have live workshops every month for free. If you have a topic you want to have discussed, let me know. Can't wait to see the next video. I'm Daniel from the Surf Companion.